There are quite a number of aspirants. Just by a show of hands, who's confident here in running for office with the kind of IEBC we have right now? No one. And there are already aspirants here. Are we saying that you're going to cease your political campaigns because IEBC is the way it is right now?
No, Fred, we are not seizing our political campaigns, neither are we seizing our ambitions, and neither are we forfeiting our generational mandate.
So of
course, some of this task is ours.
It is 19 months to the next election. It is very easy to come and lament and say, oh, IBC has failed, IBC has done this and the other. But the youth have also been accused of as being very apathetic to even the kind of concerns that we are talking about. Yes? Yes, Lynette.
Thank you once again. When we are talking about the youth of Kenya...
Just pass her the handheld microphone.
Okay. When we are talking about the youth of Kenya, I have 3 friends of mine who are sitting MCAs, and they went to Mbere and they were agents there. The concern was, it was very competitive, yes, but youth did not turn out to vote. After like 50 people, you see one youth. And youth are the one who are complaining that Kenya is hard because we are the future. Our parents, they don't have a future, they are going to their retirement. But we are the future, but they do not turn up to vote. If we turn out in a big numbers, even IBC cannot be able to be compromised.
Yes. I'm saying this because I can see the church here. Yesterday they released a statement criticizing the administration of the day, and it is what features on the front page of the Standard. They say Ruto betrayed you. One of the things they're urging is that they're urging the youth to come out, to rise up. And I'm quoting this. In a strongly worded statement released by NCCK in Limuru yesterday evening, the senior clerics also called on the youth to rise up against what they described as a failed administration. James, do you agree that everyone is looking up to the youth and is expecting that after what we've seen since last year with the youth demonstrations, that something will come from these young people? But very little is coming from your direction, James.
I understand we have a huge burden ahead of us as the Gen Zs, but there's a lie that has been told so many times it appears to be true, that we are failing this country, and that, well, I understand because a lot is expected from us. After all, we are a generation that has risen against maladministration, bad governance. We've called out corruption, nepotism, tribalism, and so on. Well, but the truth still is that youths in this country have never voted in their numbers. Say, 70% or a 60% turnout solely on the youth bracket. From the 60s to the 70s to the 80s to the 90s to the early 2000s to today. But then all this burden has been heaped on one generation, the Gen Zs. And we are supposed to overhaul the entire cultural mindset of electoral apathy amongst the youth bracket. In 1990s, when Raila and the likes of Akina Jaramogi were banking on the youth to vote for them, after all they had protested with the youths on the streets, the youths were a no-show. And that's how Moi easily won. In 2013, this is the closest we came to a turnout of around 30% amongst the youths. But still the numbers were low. To this very day, we've struggled with the same problem perennially. But then we've placed a humongous burden on the generation that we have now to forget the past and to outlive the culture of the past and to be the light for the rest of the country. Mm-hmm. And this is not an easy feat. It's not an easy task for the generation that is now. We have a lot of work to do and a lot of ground to cover. Given that youths have never voted in their numbers, this is the first time we are expecting youths to vote in their numbers. So we need to do a lot.
Yet the level of agitation and if I may call political awakening that we've seen the past 2 years is something that we've not witnessed in a very long time. Probably in the 90s with the agitation for multi-party democracy, we saw that kind of movement with young people on the streets. We've seen that over the last 2 years. But as James says, it's not translating into the kind of change that even you young people would want to see. Then where is the disconnect, Ben?
Yeah, thank you, Fred. That is why actually we are aspiring to go into the election as aspirants. And as we said that the youth are the majority in this country, actually we cite 65% to... Thank you. We cite 65% to 70% of the Kenyan population are youth, but it is not reflective when it comes to the voting patterns. We saw during the by-elections that most of the people who voted are women and the men. And we call the youth the keyboard warriors because we are actually good at tweeting and going online. And of course, when it comes to queuing and making the decisions at the ballot, we are the last to do that. And it calls for all of us to do what we call civic education, just to sensitize the young people and tell them it is important that you wake up and you go and elect the person that you wish to rule and govern the nation, the constituency, the ward, so that we vote in leaders of accountability, leaders of integrity, leaders of who can propel the nation forward. And of course, Fred, even as I finish, you realize that some of the youth, most of the youth population, say 30% are unemployed. And when the bribes come, they are tempted to take a photo and take the bribe, which is against the Constitution and the rule of free and fair election.
The question arises because they were involved in these by-elections in some way, either as agents, either through the violence we witnessed. It was not old people fighting. These were generally young people. So it's not that they stayed home. They were out there actively engaging in the activities of the day, just not queuing to cast their ballot. What is the issue, Virginia? What is the challenge with young people just queuing and casting a ballot? Is it apathy? Is it lethargy? Is it a sense of disillusionment that my vote will not count?
I don't think this is the main agenda because as the young people, these are people who have been frustrated. These are people who did not value their rights and their democratic rights on voting. But I would like to tell you something. If today you walk in slums or you walk everywhere and meet a young people and ask them, are we the change that we want? They will definitely tell you, yes, we are the change that we want. But remember, we are the same people who have been victimized, being abducted, being, like there is that perception. These people, they are not going to vote. They are going to be used, but let me tell you, ground mambo ni tofauti.
Mambo ni tofauti, it's 19 months to the next election. If it does
remember,
not happen in
mambo ni
the past 2
tofauti.
years. Yeah.
When we are talking about the young people, we are not only talking about the Gen Zs who are below 30s, okay? We are talking even about the millennials because the youthful age starts at 40, below 40. Even if in the Constitution, it's about 35, below 35, but even at 40, you are still young, energetic to go for what you want. And funny enough, we don't want to compete and our muscles are cut. So we are working it out because right now there is take your vote, register as a voter. We are advocating for it. We are going on ground telling the young people, chukua vote, piga kura yako 2027. And this is what the young people are telling you, they are doing it. They might not doing, remember, they may not, yes, we are doing it.
Okay.
So, as the system which have existed, for example, Mbeere North, former speaker, Justin Muturi, he's not a youth. He was frontline, akishika mtu shingo, okay? Is he a youth? So we don't want to watch our fathers doing those actions, then we follow them.
Okay. James, you wanted to add something?
Oh, I wanted to say, I wanted to help my panelists with this conundrum of why the youths are not appearing to vote and what seems to be the problem. As I have alluded to before, we have had a generational problem of youths not showing up to vote from the 60s to this very day. We are trying to undo that. But then, look at the generation we have today. It's a generation that is used to convenience. Ukitaka kwenda mahali, Uber. If you want to get a research quickly done, ChatGPT, Gemini, Grok. We are living in an information world and technology iko kwa mikono. So this generation tells you they want to vote electronically. Let me assure you, let me give you a challenge. Even though we've not gotten to this age as a country, if today elections were held and they were held electronically or digitally, 70% to 80% of the youth would vote. Our problem is lethargy, as you said, but then technology and in the information world we live today might have as well given us too much convenience to make us lazy. But then we wish this country had already banked on technology and we wish we had gotten to that edge. Youths are saying queuing for voting takes 8 hours, 6 hours at most, I mean at least, in places where the population, the registered voters in that particular polling stations are many. But look at it from the information system or the technology system that we have today that would require or would have a mechanism through which youths would vote online, that in 20 minutes, in 30 minutes you're done. Because you're used to that convenience. All these youths would vote. But then I still want to challenge them that we've still not gotten there. Wacha tuseme we are dinosaurs as a country.
Very interesting.
We still have to get to the physical polling station. We still have to get ourselves to the registration centers and register physically. Your option electronic bado ijakuja.
And queue